and my joy to say welcome to our celebration of life and love at the Centre for Spiritual Living, Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. And to begin our service, we've got big news. We're back to congregational singing. And I'll turn it over to Edith, and she'll tell us what we're singing and page numbers. Do you have a book?
Okay, for our first song, we're going to do God in Everything. This is by Jack Fowler, and I don't have the page number. It's going to be at the back of your book somewhere, though.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom. I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God's in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom. I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God's in everything. I know God's in everything. Namaste, 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 namaste.
Okay, for our next song, and you can stand and sing along. You can take a little love and pass it on. The words were by Linda Graham, and the music's by Suze Ogden. It's on page 86 in your book. Okay, sorry. Let's try that again. Different key. Thank you.
Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little love and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. If you take a little love and pass it on. I love you. Take a little peace and pass it on. Take a little peace and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. If you take a little peace and pass it on. Take a little joy and pass it on. Yeah, yeah. Take a little joy and pass it on. Yeah. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. If you take a little joy and pass it on. Yeah. Take a little fun and pass it on. Woo-hoo. Take a little fun and pass it on. Woo-hoo. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. If you take a little fun and pass it on. Woo-hoo. Take a little love and pass it on. I love you. Take a little love and pass it on. I love you. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. If you take a little love and pass it on. I love you.
And our next song is Life Should Be Joyful. And I don't have the page written down for that one either, but it's near the end of the book. This is one I wrote. Take cable off. Yep, thanks. I'll have to write that in.
Life should be joyful, life should be fun. But if I don't like what I see, then it's my responsibility to do the work that I need to change my reality. have, and see it as already being so. If I don't like what I see, then it's my responsibility to do the work that I need to change my reality.
I can
Choose to be happy, I can choose to be sad, I can choose to be loving or be mad. We all have those challenges that often come our way, but we get to choose how we react. If I don't like what I see, then it's my responsibility to do the work that I need to change my reality. If I want love, peace, and joy, then I need to practice those things and let go of judgment, doubt, and fear, and be willing to forgive, even though it may seem hard. Have faith and know that all is God. If I don't like what I see, then it's my responsibility to do the work that I need to change my reality. If I don't like what I see, then it's my responsibility to do the work that I need to change my reality. To change my reality.
Well, thank you, Edith and Kathy and Polly and Gord, for bringing music back to us. We love you.
We love you.
And we love you, whether you're here in this room or whether you're watching online. You and the spirit and the wholeness that you bring with you is what makes our celebration important and special. And let's carry on with reading our opening affirmation together. I plant new seeds in my garden of life. The seeds are those of loving relationships, radiant health, prosperity, and creativity. I dig out the weeds of anxiety, limitation, and fear so that the good can grow and bear fruit. Thoughts are the seeds, and I am the thinker. I do the planting, and I reap the harvest. I tend my garden with wisdom, and so it is. All right, and we do have an announcement. We have a bingo coming up on May 11th, and if you are willing to help with that, we can use your help. It's a Wednesday evening, you get a free meal, and fun and hugs. So think about volunteering. Marianne, will you stand up so we can, those who don't know you can see you. She's been down south through the winter. All right, and the other thing is our April Science of Mind magazines were really late getting here, but now we have both April and May available. So they're just outside the door, $5 a piece, which is, I think it's about $2.95 less than the recommended price. You're getting a deal when you buy your magazine here. And our Growing Spirit Circle, Haley has already gone. But our word for the day is tolerance, which is so important. How tolerant do we feel about Putin these days? Well, you know what? If we don't change that in ourselves, we're adding to the problem. So if we can learn to be tolerant, telling ourselves whatever the outer effects look like, there is that within Vladimir Putin as well as within myself that is divine. And I know now that the truth and the goodness and the God within him unfolds into a greater experience in the outer. Something like that. We need to keep on blessing him rather than cursing him if we want a better outcome. Difficult, maybe, not impossible. All right, so now I'll talk about what the message says here about tolerance. People who are not tolerant cannot stand to have anything different. They may criticize, complain, and condemn people just for being different. When we practice tolerance, there is space to be and space to grow. We accept others just the way they are. And the affirmation is, we are all part of God because God is all there is. So together, we are all part of God because God is all there is, and so it is.
So it is.
I hope there's some mothers online that will share that message with their children. Plus, we know Lena probably has shared it already. Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. I think that we're good to go, and it's my pleasure once again to introduce one of my very favorite people in the world, Reverend Tress Phillips. And our May theme is a little bit different. It's living everyday wonder again, but it's emotions we're talking about today. And her title is Surprise, You Are It. Reverend Tress.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. Well, I'm glad that what I studied was about emotions, because I'll tell you, last night the emotions were just going at my house. Someone kept ringing the front door, ringing the bell, banging on the door, and I learned a while back, just don't always answer that. And then it stopped. They came around, I heard the gate open, and they came around and they did the same thing with the back door. I could hear the screen door opening, and they're just pounding and banging, and I don't want to get up and look, because if it was someone in my family, they'd say, Mom or Tress or something, or it's your neighbor so-and-so. You know, I was really scared. Really scared. Everything I just told you is a total fabrication. And the reason I told it to you is because you probably got caught hook, line, and sinker and drawn right into that story. Because a similar thing did happen in the past. But the reason I'm telling you this fabricated story is thoughts or things. And our brain always is telling us positive or negative or fear or whatever. And just as you may have believed what I'm telling you, because I very seldom don't say something that is true, that is how our brain can trick us too. Our negative thoughts, that simple. We might hear something that we just connect to. So we glom onto it and think, yeah, well, that's the truth. But no, we have to always look at what is my thinking? What is going on? What is causing this in my life to think this? You see, you are it, each of you. You're the only one who can live in your life. You're the only one who knows what's going on in your life. And if you have two of you inside of you, I want to meet the other person. But I know for me, I call them the evil twin and the good twin. And it's me arguing with myself, over should I do this, shouldn't I do this? And even though I may know what's good and positive, I don't always listen. And that evil twin can get in there and say, you eat that cookie. No, I won't eat that cookie. You stay up till 3 in the morning. That's a good show. No, I won't do that. Well, sometimes that evil twin is about 10 feet tall. And it just is my way of thinking. So control my thinking. Get rid of the negative thoughts. But ask yourself, what is it that you are drawn into? What pulls at you? What are your beliefs about yourself? Most of us will never tell other people our beliefs about ourselves. But where did these beliefs come from? What is our mental narrative? Does it bring us forward? Does it pull us backward? Because every morning we get up, what makes us want to get up? Every step we take, there was a thought before it. We are walking our journey, and we are paving our path as we go. And each of us have our own paths that we're paving. And there may be somewhere along the way that we kind of get this fork in the road, lumpy, bumpy, whatever. But we can always change our thinking, change ourselves, and go ahead. Well, I have to be really honest here. I have never, ever liked country music, except real old, maybe 1940s. I just do not like it. Now, I'll be really honest. You probably want to crucify me because I don't like it. You might want to stone me because I don't like it. But it's just, I don't like it. However, I discovered we had a great local singer. That fellow had won the Aboriginal Entertainer of the Year in the Music Awards. And I thought, okay, I got to look him up. His name is Shane Yellowbird. Now, he just passed away. Shane Yellowbird is a Cree from Masquets. And he had a song called The Pickup Truck. That's what all the big noise was about. So I looked up The Pickup Truck. He had an incredible voice. And I watched him sing, and he had these dimples, and he was, oh my goodness, he was a poster boy for country singing, good-looking guys. He, dimples, and he'd tip his hat to the girls and whatever. And I thought, all these years you've been around singing, and I could have learned about you a long time ago. And being Albertan, I mean, that puts him way up for me. But being so close to here, that makes him huge. I think, oh my goodness. You know what? I was stubborn. And never even investigated a different kind of music, because normally I don't like it. So there's only one person that suffered because of my false beliefs or my stubbornness around my beliefs, and that was me. He couldn't have cared less whether I listened to him sing or any of his fans. But what did I miss? Well, a heck of a lot. Russ, I'm going to pull this out. I keep hearing a little noise. So today is a good day to be alive. Maybe in the back of your head is the yeah, but. Well, we can figure out a gazillion yeah, buts. And that doesn't make this pathway we're on any easier. But we still have to put one foot in front of the other. As long as we're breathing, we're living here to make a new expression of who we are and to bless all the people around us. and it's our choice how we bless them, but we're here to live our life. The power is in the now moment. All we have is what we think right now. All we have to move forward with is the thoughts. What path have I prepared for myself through my thinking? I don't know about the newer generation, since I'm not of the newer generation, but the older generation, one of the things the parents would say, bless their heart, is you made your bed, lie in it. And I got thinking about that, and I thought, boy, that's spiritual and that's metaphysical. It's you thought your thoughts. You are now experiencing the results. So that's pretty well what it says. You get out of it what you put into it. What am I thinking? What am I making? What is the truth for me? Yesterday was, it was just a gorgeous day, plus 14. All kinds of people were out. See the little kids on their little scooters that they either motorized for the older ones or just the little guys there, the little kids learning to ride their two-wheel bikes or on tricycles, skateboards. And there was a classic car meet at the Westerner, and that we didn't attend, but there were people from Washington, from all over Western USA and Western Canada, and that was happening right here, all around us. All this stuff was happening. They were even having protests at the protest corner, and I don't know if everybody knows where that is, but it's right behind the Second Cup coffee shop. It's just the corner that they kind of thought, oh, well. So they were there. Everybody was out there doing their thing, and everything was different. Everyone was just happy, expressing. We even saw, and I've always wanted to do this, but of course it'll never happen, because the kids from one of the houses, they were teenagers, I presume, because they're sitting there with their Apple computer, but they crawled out of the top window and went down and sat along the roof that went over the bottom of the house, because it was a house built like that. And they were soaking up the sun and had the computer, and wow, that would be fun. That took imagination. So what is it we can do? We even went to Canadian Tire yesterday. And I'll tell you, I guess I must have got through to Sweet Babu, because here he picked out tulips that are ready to be planted, but they've already come up. So you can plant the bulb and the tulip will come. I thought, oh, isn't this exciting? So we picked it up, and then, love you, dear. Then he said at the till, oh, you can put this little baby in a bag separate. And I said to the girl, did he call that plant baby? Yeah. Well, I called my plants babies, but I never thought he'd call a plant baby. And I thought, wow, isn't that exciting? And then I'm thinking, yeah, well, I taught him well. But it is what it is. He's probably so used to hear me talking about the babies. But we choose what we think about. But today is a good day to be alive. So do you want to repeat with me, today is a good day to be alive? Okay, now can you repeat it from deep down, 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 and see the glory of today?
Today is a great day to be alive.
Yay, that sounds even better. It is. Remember as a little child, the excitement for life. The littlest thing, I remember, littlest thing, and I'd be so excited and I'd have so much energy. And then somewhere along the line, that excitement left. Because all of the things that we were introduced to, it may have been something we heard at school that made us not feel good. Could have been a parent that was often saying things. Could have been friends that said something. But we have embodied so many things that maybe changed the course of our life because it stopped us from believing in the beautiful individual that we are. And we're not individual human, we're individual divine mind expressing in, as, and through each of us. And the pure, perfect example is this weekend, the car guys, the protesters, the little kids just going, the old people out there just planting a garden, all different ages, all different sizes, all different dreams. And if anyone knows the classic cars, boy, those people into that, that's their babies. And that is so important. The gardeners that we saw, that's their people, that's their babies. So what is the baby in your life? What is it you're interested in? Where do you see the glory? Well, if it's not there right now, well, every breath you take is a new breath in life. Everything we do is divine in expression. That's including you. You are the divine mind in expression. Dr. Holmes talks about the children. He says, "For back of the false front of all of us is a little child, a child born of the kingdom of God. The discovery of this child within us is the greatest discovery of our life. The search after it is the greatest adventure in our life." Ooh, adventure. That's what we need. We're alive. Like the wise men of old, we too need to be guided by the star of life, so that holy place within us, which lies so deep, so soft, so still, where the little child we are, the Son of God, is cradled in the arms of the infinite love and wisdom. Dr. Ernest Holmes, in an Ernest Holmes reader. So there's always something new to discover about ourselves, and something new to discover about others and the world itself, because we are constantly changing. And it was funny, I had a discussion with Gord right before we came in, and it was about reality. And well, some people believe this is real, and some people believe this is real. And I can't understand why people believe this is real. And then we both realized, well, you know what? Everything we believe is real today, we're always changing. The environment's always changing. The world's always changing. The universe changes. So there is always a new truth. And as we learn, as we grow, we will see more things. Our eyes will be opened up to the wonders of the world. And every time you look in the mirror, get past looking at that face and instead realize you are looking at one of the wonders of the world. And that every breath you take, you are breathing life into this world. So when we think of maybe these negative thoughts, evil twin ideas that have popped into our head through life, we can change it. We can decide, I'm not going to live that way anymore. I'm not going to believe in that anymore, and I'm going to work at it. We have to be willing to re-educate ourselves. Dr. Holmes said, I now begin to re-educate myself definitely by whatever steps I make to a belief that there is given to me a fullness of life that is divine in its origin, eternal in its presence, and always fully available. The divine is in, as, through you now and always. And that little child is still there. That joy, that wonder, that excitement, that's still part of you. And if you want to get up and dance sometimes, get up and dance sometimes. It's the life within you. So we say, change your thinking, change your life. Yes, you've heard that over and over and over. Well, here's the little small writing on the bottom of the page that you need the magnifying glass to read sometimes. Surprise, it's not always as easy as it sounds. It may take a lot of work to change your beliefs and your attitudes. But you're worth it. You are worth it. You are worth it, and the world is waiting for more and more and more of the precious you that you are. Imagine someone telling us, you're not good enough. You're not worth the effort to make a change. That is not true. It would be very hurtful if someone came up and said, you're a waste of time. You're a waste of time. Then why do I, and I'm sure there's some others, tell myself, I'm not worth it for this. I'm not good enough for that. Why am I hurting myself by words I say? There's no divine, universal God essence in me saying bad things about myself. Looking around, we're always bombarded. There's TV, there's social media, there's news. And we always have to say to ourselves, you're not the boss of me. I remember that little kid that said that once, and I thought, just a minute, that's a pretty good lesson. These thoughts are not the boss of me. And if I am the one who is telling myself these horrible thoughts of non-belief of the greatness of who I am not the boss of me in that way. I can be the boss of me in changing my thinking. I remember in the cartoons that it'd be in the comedies and like Bugs Bunny and all that, you'd see they'd have the boomerang and they'd throw the boomerang and then it would come back and conk somebody on the head and they wouldn't figure it out and get thrown again and conk them on the head. Well, that's the same as repeating the same silly thinking over and over and over again. I think it, I put it out there, off it goes, creates chaos, comes right back, conks me on the head. So unless I don't want to keep getting conked on the head, figuratively, by the same thing over and over, maybe I better change my thinking, one step at a time. See, the only way to know the future, you want to know the future? Well, the only way to know the future is to invent it. Invent your own future. See yourself laying down a pathway to a new life. See yourself walking bravely on that pathway. And if one stone cobblestone, whatever you build it with, is out of sync, well, guess what? You can move it. Or you can create a whole new path. You are the boss of you. You are the one who sees the divine within you. You are the one who recognizes your purpose and your beauty. The sun is getting up. It's not up yet by 5, but it's getting lighter and lighter and lighter. 6:15, maybe even earlier, the sun's coming up. How beautiful is that? We've waited so long, it seems, for spring, and here it is. And everywhere I look, I see the divine. There's been all kinds of blue jays and red-winged blackbirds and geese and trumpeter swans and snow geese and all kinds. Woodpecker, this morning we heard it in the tree. This is life going on and on and on. And it's fantastic and it's beautiful. I wanted to reread our opening affirmation, and I will read it, but just think of what we say. Thoughts are things. And we are the people that have the results. I plant new seeds in my garden of life. The seeds are those of loving relationships, radiant health, prosperity, and creativity. I dig out the weeds of anxiety, limitation, and fear so that the good can grow and bear fruit. Thoughts are the seeds. I am the thinker. I do the planting and I reap the harvest. I tend my garden with wisdom, and so it is. That right there pretty well talks about what I am talking about. The builder, the grower. We just offer the area, but the life within comes from the divine. So what seeds am I planting in my life? And if I don't want the weed growing, or I don't want the red flower next to the purple flower you just look at it that way, I'm the only one that can pull it out or change my attitude. But it's a beautiful, beautiful recap of everything I'm saying. We invent our future. So maybe there are the nigglies, the make us uncomfortable, the not so goods. I think most of us have these as part of our life. Well, I'd like you to think right now, and just close your eyes if you want, and think of the pictures, and you may have actually seen one, I never have, of the old flour mills. And they would have a paddle wheel beside it. And that would turn the equipment inside that would grind the grain into the flour. And think of whatever it is. You see that beautiful stream coming along, the trees around it. But then you notice that there are a few things in there that really don't belong. And when you see these things, replace them in your mind with something in your thinking. It may be a fear, it may be a frustration, I have no idea. And you see instead it being that thing. And you watch it, you toss it in. The thoughts, the fears, frustrations, and you toss it in and you watch it gently go down by the wheel, the paddle wheel. And as it starts to go down, you see that wheel churning it. And you see every single thing you do not want totally chopped up and obliterated the negative thoughts. It's all gone. All gone. And then you look up and you see the peace and the beauty of that beautiful, beautiful flour mill. And the clearness of the water. For that clearness of the water is you. It's the divine mind within you. And the truth is, whatever was believed to be there, the truth is you are always pure, whole, complete, and wonderful in the divine mind. So if you feel that, and you can open your eyes now, at any time, anywhere, you can do this meditation in your mind. It might take a minute or less. You're somewhere, it's something. Oh, I'm upset about, oh, I see the flour mill. There I see it. It's gone. That's what our imagination can do. We are worth it. Dr. Holmes said, we exist in limitless opportunities which are forever seeking expression through us. That's why you're always wanting to create. You're here to make the world a better place. And you are right the way you are. But there's always new opportunities, that new path. Dr. Holmes also says in Science of Mind magazine, the answer to every problem already exists in the mind of God, and the mind of God is flowing through you always. Now, some people don't like the word. They're not happy with the word God. Whatever works for you, the divine mind, universal essence, whatever it is, whatever answer you need, is already there within the divine mind. And what is in, as, and through us? The divine mind. So hello, all you divine mind beings. You're just beautiful, exactly the way you are. And if there's something you want to change, well, you know what? Change it. Try it. And if that doesn't work, well, you know, you can always drive forward and back up, drive forward and back up in your journeys of life. Dr. Holmes said, faith is not a form, it's not a dogma, it's not a creed, and not a statement of being. It is a certain approach to the universe that the mind makes. It is an affirmative approach opposed to a negative approach. It is an agreement opposed to denial. So affirmative prayer, the knowing that there is the one mind, the one power, the one energy, that the spirit, the divine, is the all-powerful energy and creation. Spirit can do for us only what it can do through us. The power behind all things is without limit, but it must work through us. Are we open? Are we a clear channel for this? I guess one of the things that stands in the way sometimes when I look, and I can say we, but it's me I'm talking about, and I look at what I need to change, and that lazy part says, you know, I don't want all that responsibility. I want it to be somebody else's fault. Well, it never is anybody else's fault. I thought whatever, and the life happened. Change my thinking, change my life. So don't you know yet? It is your individual light and your light together that change the world. Every breath you take is universal mind expressing through a human form, and that it's a very beautiful and wonderful you and you, everyone here. So I know for you, and I know for me, that today is full of new opportunities to express my beautiful and divine being. And so it is. Now, if you would like to join me in the prosperity affirmation. It is the Father's good pleasure to give me the kingdom, and it is my place to rule that kingdom with wisdom, enjoying its abundance and sharing that good with all. There is no need to hold tightly to what I have, for my supply has no muse. I give freely and accept fully, and so it is. And now we shall have the musicians play.
Okay, and this song was inspired by Reverend Judy. One day I was talking about things I had to do when Reverend Judy suggested I try something new. She said instead of using the phrase I have to, why not change the words to I get to? Now it may just seem like a little thing, it can't change much of anything, but if you just go and give it a try, you may see things differently. Well, I went home and tried these new words and soon discovered how they changed my world when doing the same old things I did before. I now did them with a sense of gratitude. Now it may just seem like a little thing, it can't change much of anything, but if you just go and give it a try, you may see things differently. I get to go to the store,
I get to clean my house.
I get to do the dishes.
I get to walk the dog,
I get to wash my car.
I get to feed the cats.
I get to, I get to, I get to.
Well, thank you, Edith. I had nearly forgotten that song. But will you come up here for a minute?
Okay.
You know, when we did our opening songs, you announced who wrote those songs, except for the third one. Tell us who wrote the name of the song and who wrote it.
Life Should Be Joyful, and I wrote that. It was, I had taken a course way back in Winnipeg yet at CSL Winnipeg, and as our creative project, I thought, well, I've never written a song before, but maybe I'll give it a try, and so that came from the course, and I can't remember the name of the course, I'll have to look it up, but it was one of the courses that I took through CSL Winnipeg.
So she's not only a musician, she writes music. 2 of her songs today, you get to. Thank you, Edith. But that's important to know, because that song, Life Should Be Joyful, that's a wonderful message. So thank you for that. And now I've had that good thing to do. The other thing that I didn't do is tell you how you could get in touch with Marianne to tell her you're willing to work bingo. Now, are you all right with me announcing your phone number? All right. So if you can work bingo on Wednesday, May 11, you can reach Marianne at 403-307-5874. And if you didn't have time to pick up a pen, I'll say it once more. 403-307-5874. That felt like I was calling a bingo. All right. I'd like one more round of applause for our musicians. Isn't it wonderful? It's marvelous to have real music back in our service. So if you will read the closing affirmation with me. Today I live in the present moment. My total attention is given to each task and to every relationship. There is joy and vitality in this, for I am not burdened by thoughts of yesterday or what comes next, only this precious moment and all that it contains. God is good, life is good, and so am I, and so it is. And we'll have our closing songs and then a closing treatment.
I Love Myself on page 33, and you can stand to sing along if you like.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel the love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage and tears, I see your shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come from deep inside. I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am.
And our last song is Yes, There Is Peace on Earth, and that's on page 114 in your book.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we, as we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun. joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
That's wonderful. And now please just join me in knowing the good of this day, in knowing that God is at the center of it all, that truly each one of us is the boss of us, the boss of our own mind, the boss who can say, I choose to think and act and live in joy. I am the boss of me, and my choice creates my thoughts, and my thoughts create my life. So today I give loving thanks, grateful for the message we heard today, grateful for the opportunity to change our thinking and change our lives, grateful for knowing that every leader of every nation on this planet has within them that same power and that same inspiration, which I call God, that each one can call upon that within them to help us create the world that we all want to experience. So I release these words into the law of mind, that which always says yes, knowing that they are acted upon even as they are spoken. And so it is.
And so it is.